Good evening, everyone. We welcome you for ISTD Anand's Friday Forum. And today we have speaker Sonal Bhatt, madam. I request Neelam, madam, to introduce the speaker and proceed further. Neelam, ma'am, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening to you all. I, Kumar Nilambarana, am going to give brief introduction of the respected madam, Dr. Sonal Bhatt. Today, I feel lucky by giving introduction of the respected madam. Her introduction is as below. Her educational qualifications is as below. She is completed her PhD in economics with the topic financing the water sector in Gujarat, problems and prospects. She is MPhil in economics and her topic was extent of subsidy in major and medium irrigation projects in Gujarat. She has completed MA in economics in March 2000 with a gold medal 65%. She is qualified in UGC NET in June 2000 on first attempt, which was conducted by UGC New Delhi. She is diploma in marketing and sales management from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Mumbai in April 1996. She is diploma in international trade management from Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies in April 1995. She is qualified as a certified trainer with grade A, conforming to the National Skill Qualification Framework Level 5 from the Management and Entrepreneurship and Professional Skills Council. Her work experience is from June 2000 till today. It means it is of 21 years. She has earned Sri R.K. Amin Gold-plated Medal in March 2000 for securing highest marks in MA Economics, Sardar Patel University. She had fellowship to pursue PhD by the Indian Council of Social Sciences Research, ICSSR, New Delhi in 2002 to 2003. She had University Senior Fellowship by the SP University in 1999 to 2000. She had NUFFIC Fellowship by Netherlands Government in February 2016 to pursue a short course in water and environmental law. She had NUFFIC Fellowship by Netherlands Government in July 2008 to pursue a short course in public-private partnerships in the water sector. She has earned 7 different research awards and prizes for consultancy and research. 3 books, 6 research articles, 4 research reports, 2 working papers, 2 book reviews. She has completed 3 research projects and 1 research project is in progress. She has presented research papers in 25 seminars and workshops and conferences. She has delivered 43 lectures in orientation, refresher courses, and institutes of higher education. She has completed 2 online courses. 1 student has completed PhD under her guidance, and 1 student's PhD is going on under her guidance. 5 students have completed MPhil under her guidance. Now, madam, you can start your session. Sonal, madam.
Thank you, Neelam. That was very, very kind introduction. Thank you so much. And I wish all of you a very good evening together. I hope that we will have a wonderful session today. Now, as you know, the topic has already been announced. The topic is life lessons from cricket. And this is from the vantage point of a non-cricketer. That is me. I am a non-cricketer. So this is my view of cricket that I am trying to share with you today. I have organized my presentation in the following manner. In the initial stage, I will give you an overview of the evolution of cricket in India, because this is a colonial game. It was you know that it is a British pastime, and slowly it pervaded the subcontinent, and in so much so that we have now made it our own, and we have evolved it in our own manner. So I'm going to have a brief overview of the evolution of cricket in India. Subsequently, we will look at the various roles that players play on the field, and metaphorically comparing it with our lives, Basically, our life itself is a game. It's like a cricket match, a game of cricket, as to how in different phases and different situations you don different roles, and how you deal with the problems of life, the situations of life, as a player would in a cricket match. So that is my idea. That is the organization of the presentation today. Now, please give me a moment before I start PPT and share it with you. So here it is. Okay. Able to see this? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yes. So this is it, life lessons that cricket can give us. Now, first, I think I need to deal with the topic more, because as many as 10 people have already asked me some in jest, Madam, what are you going to talk about cricket? Are you a cricketer? So, I mean, they were feeling, quite, because they would not believe that I can be the person who can talk about cricket. Nobody could imagine me as cricketer. So that's how it was. So I must explain the topic, and I also must explain my motivation as to why I have selected this topic today. You see, I'm a non-cricketer. I have never played cricket at any stage.
હા અરે હા પણ મારે પેલું સેશન ચાલે છે કટ થઈ જાય એટલે હા તો કર લો ભગવાન હા 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 પછી કરીએ વાત
Understand when there is an LBW. Only when the umpire raises his finger, that is the only time I would understand that it's an LBW. Otherwise, that I can never make out. So you can see I understand very little as to the technicalities of the game, but I have always been more interested in the process of playing. I tend to think as to what would be going on in the minds of the people who are playing, who are right now currently on the field, and what is undergoing their mind. What are they thinking? What are they afraid of? Are they anxious? Because the entire stadium, all of us are anxious. The last over is being bowled. Everybody is on the edge of their seats. What must be going on in the mind of the person who is there actually on the crease? What goes on in the mind of the bowler, for example, or the fielders, for example? So that is what has always interested me. I have always been interested in that. That's what that is my takeaway, so to speak, from any match, any session that I have ever watched. So I'm going to now today share that view of mine from the cricket field to you. Yes, as I promised, I would try to give you a very brief history of cricket in India. It was brought to India by the British in the early 18th century, and the European sailors who were chiefly in Calcutta and Bombay and places like Surat, they used to play cricket as a pastime. First recorded cricket match in India was played in 1721, and the cricket club which was formed first was in 1792 in Calcutta, of course by the British. If you look at the Indians, 1848, which is the mid 19th century, the Parsi community formed the Oriental Cricket Club in Bombay. And even after that, they were invited to play their first cricket match against the Europeans only in the year 1877. So before that, there was no entry for the natives on the cricket field. 1877 was also the beginning of first-class cricket in India. We had the Bombay triangular, quadrangular, and pentacular teams, which were formed, and regular tournaments were held between them. These quadrangular, pentacular, all these they refer to various teams. So they were, for example, a Hindu team, a Muslim team, a Parsi team, and so on, European team. All those teams were formed by respective groups, and they used to play tournaments within themselves. The royal families, the royal houses, the Maharajas, they were the leaders. They were the trailblazers as far as cricket was concerned. The Maharaja of Patiala, Jamnagar, which was earlier called Navanagar, Maharaja of Baroda, Rajkot, the Nawab of Patodi, the Nawab of Bhopal, Indore, and Vizianagaram in the south. All these, the royalty, they were at the forefront. They were interested, and they also propagated this game in their own way. Prince Ranjit Singh Ji and Prince Tulip Singh Ji, whom we all know about it. We have tournaments named after them. These two never actually played for India. Do you know? They were always, they played for English teams, particularly Sussex was where Ranjit Singh Ji played for a major part of his career. So they were not actually Indian players, if you speak in a strictly technical manner. The Maharaja of Patiala, Bhupinder Singh Ji, should be credited of taking the cricket, propagating cricket in a big way. In fact, he sponsored various tournaments to England between 1911 and 1937. In fact, the first team which traveled to England was captained also by him, and he also bore all the expenses. So if it was not for the kings, it was not for the royalty, cricket would not have really taken roots in the subcontinent as it has. The first All India team that toured England under Bhupinder Singh Ji did so in 1911. Subsequently, the MCC, the Marylebone Cricket Club, its team toured India. That was our first international tour. In 1926, they toured India, basically Bombay, where C.K. Naidu emerged as an outstanding player, and he also captained that team, and he scored a century. So for the first time, the English realized that the Indians are really good at the game, and they can actually be quite a competition. 1928, we have the establishment of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, and the president was an Englishman again, R.E. Grant Bowen. India's national team was granted the test status in 1932 by the MCC. India was the 6th country in the world to be granted the test status. The first test match by the Indian team was on 25th June 1932 at Lord's against England, of course. But the first test victory came many years later, about 20 years later in 1952, again against England. So that is our journey, the early journey. It began in this manner. How did it evolve? The first cricket series we played against Australia in 1948, soon after independence. The captain was Lala Amarnath. Meanwhile, Bhupinder Singh Ji, the Maharaja of Patiala, he had already established the Ranji Trophy in memory of his friend Ranjit Singh Ji in 1935. That was the first domestic tournament. It is on till date. And after that, we had so many various domestic tournaments post-independence. So we already have a robust structure of domestic cricket tournaments. There lots of boys come in, they get trained, and we get world-class players. We have world-class infrastructure, not maybe of other sports, but definitely cricket has infrastructure and a legacy of great players, great coaches, bowlers, and bats. The 30s was dominated, the 1930s was dominated by the royalty. You can see Maharaja of Porbandar, Maharaja of Limbdi, Maharaja of Vizianagaram, C.K. Naidu, who was from Indore, he was prodigy of the Maharaja of Indore, Ghulam Muhammad, who subsequently left for Pakistan, and Amar Singh. All these were either royalty or they were from the very elite classes of India. The 40s were dominated against by Naidu was there, Lala Amarnath, Muhammad Nisar, we know Mankad and Patodi Senior, which is the senior Nawab of Patodi. The 1950s, we had Oli Umrigar, Vijay Hazare, Vijay Manjrekar and the likes. 1960s, famous players included Dilip Sardesai, the Nawab of Patodi Jr., Hanuman Singh, Chandu Borde, either from royalty or from big cities like Bombay and Delhi. The 70s saw the onslaught of Bishan Singh Bedi, Prasanna, Chandrasekhar, Venkatraghavan, Gavaskar, Kapil Dev, Vishwanath, all of them again from Mumbai or Delhi. The Women's Cricket Association, how can we forget the women? In 1973, it was formed again under Begum Hamida Habibullah in Lucknow. And it is completely independent of the men's cricket. In India, it is not part of the BCCI. It's independent and it has flourished on its own. The 80s saw the likes of Azharuddin, Vengsarkar, Shastri, Shrikant. You know all of them. I don't need to repeat the names. 1983 was the first World Cup win. It was a watershed year as far as Indian cricket was concerned, because we have for the first time beaten the colonialists at their own game. The match was played in England. Of course, we won against the West Indies. Even the West Indies was a colony, India was a colony, and both the colonized states, so to speak, was playing against each other. And the colonialists, the English team was nowhere in the picture. So yeah, we have arrived on the scene and beaten the colonialists. It seems that we are now as good as them and at their own game, you know. The 90s saw, of course, Tendulkar, Kumble, Dravid, Ganguly and Lakshman and so many else. Everybody has their own favorite cricketer. I'm sure you also have your own. So if I'm missing some names, don't worry. It was not possible to include everybody, but this is what the most famous cricketers from the 90s era, the 90s decade looks like. The 2000 onwards, you have the likes of Sehwag, Zahir, Harbhajan Singh, Dhoni. Can you see the slow change in cricket? Earlier we had people from royalty, then we had the elite Indians. Subsequently, maybe the city lads took over, and finally cricket has come to and dominated by the small town guys. Again, 2008 was a watershed year in Indian cricket because of the beginning of IPL, the Indian Premier League, which basically unleashed the market forces into the cricketing arena and made it a completely market-oriented, commercialized game. You know, it changed the entire character of the game, so to speak. More than a sport, it became a show, something that needs to be seen, and it became some kind of an experience rather than a simple physical sport, so to speak. So that's how it has evolved. I tend to see it in this manner. There is a gradual, slow democratization of cricket in India, which has taken place over the years. The first people who played cricket or who brought it to India were the British, subsequently taken up enthusiastically by Indian royalty, probably to conform to their colonial masters. Then it pervaded into the elite Indians in bigger cities, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta and Madras. Finally, it came to the masses somewhere after the independence, you can say. So now we have the gully cricket all over India. Each and every street, each and every corner of the game of the country, you have, you know, this small boys playing cricket every day, and it dominates in not only India but the entire subcontinent, you can say, is full of gully cricketers, so to speak. India is also ruling today the spectator base, people who watch cricket and therefore are the people who are the reason for making money for the cricketers and the cricket boards and the organizers and the advertisers. They are all, you know, we are the majority of the spectators today. I'll give you some world records. The world record for a test match, the number of spectators in a test match, is held by an India-Pakistan match at Eden Gardens in Kolkata, which was held in February 1999. And in this match, the number of spectators in the stadium, I'm not talking about TV viewers, in the stadium, around 465,000 people viewed that match at Eden Gardens. If you look at the T20 league, the T20 record is held by the IPL season of 2017, where in the single season, the number of spectators in the stadium, again, was around 16 lakh viewers. Plus, of course, those millions of others who saw the match on the TV. The BCCI is the richest cricket board in the world, and its annual revenue in 2019-20 was something like 3,730 crores, around $535 million US dollars. It's the richest board. It holds the biggest clout, and all this ultimately it's the power of the Indian people, not only the players but the spectators, the viewers, who are ardent fans of the game, who are followers of the game, who worship the game, the players. They deify the players and give them a godlike status. So that is the power that has been unleashed. That is the democratization. We have completely taken over cricket, and it has become our own game rather than a colonial game. So after 2000s, in the new millennium, for instance, the last 20 years or so, cricket players and everything else, it has been dominated by players from smaller cities and towns, and those belonging to very low middle class to middle class players. And they have arrived, they have dominated the scene like never before. So just think of it. It has come from the British, passed on to royalty and the elites, and now finally it has come to the masses in a big way. So that is how cricket has evolved in India. What does cricket mean to us? What does it mean to me or to you and to all of us collectively? We are fortunate that we have cricket-induced solidarity. Even if we don't agree with many other things, certainly we will agree that we all want the Indian team to win, is it not? So it is a uniting factor in a loosely united nation like nothing else. You see, when we talk about uniting our country, that is very difficult in a country like India, which has so many states, regions, languages, food, customs, culture, everything, so many differences exist. So, finding a common point is so difficult. And nothing really can do it, not even films, for example, because there are Hindi films and Saudi films. So this cricket is one factor which will unite this nation into one. And when the Indian team is playing from Bombay to Kolkata, from Madras to somewhere in Delhi, we have, everybody wants one thing, and that is to make our team win. So that is the power, that is the glue that cricket has brought to us. Cricket is, many people say cricket is the only religion. We have so many religions and we keep on fighting all over it, but when it comes to cricket, we are all one. So it's a religion in India. It's now a profession. Earlier it used to be a sport, a pastime maybe. Now it's become a viable profession. Extremely competitive, extremely commercialized, and a high pressure job. There is a huge emergence of so many other trends. For example, in scientific statisticians, so There was just corruption also, and corruption, we have space for that also is involved with the evolution of the games. My question is this presentation. I want to explain that so what's the reason for this to happen and how does it happen? That's what I wanted to basically explore. What is life for you? Wherever you are, in whatever situation that you may be, whatever your age, your profession, your position in your professional and personal life, what is life for you? Is it a test match? Do you approach life as a test match? Or you approach it as an ODI, one day, 50 overs, limited overs game? Or it is a quick T20 game, 20 overs each, finished in one evening, 4 hours, 5 hours. How do you approach life? If you approach life as a test match, you need to have, it's a long haul. A test match is a 5-day game, so long haul. Life is also long, lots of ups and downs. You need good physical strength, consistency, energy, good technique. You can't have a fluke. You need to practice, lots of patience and lots of grit. The ability to last long, last 5 days. It can't be a short-term momentum. It has to be a long-term draining exercise. You have to survive adverse conditions, but because all 5 days are not similar. If you are playing a test match, for first 3 days may be good and the 4th day it might rain. So adverse conditions do come in life, isn't it? Life is not always the same. There are ups and downs and we need to survive all of that. How do you tire and frustrate the bowler? Just by sticking on to the wicket, just by not getting out. Even if you don't make too many runs, if you just stick to the wicket, don't get out. Slowly and surely your opponent will be frustrated. He will be tired. And then he will give one loose ball and you can pull off a sixer. So just wait and wait and wait till the bowler makes a mistake. And the bowler again is doing the same thing. He is also waiting, bowling and bowling and bowling one after the other and waiting for the batsman to make that one mistake and get your wicket and get his wicket. Right? So that's how it is. So the bowler again has to bowl for long spells, overs and overs and overs. Sometimes without any success. How many balls you have to bowl without any success, and finally that one ball you get a wicket, get success. So just look at the ratio. How much you have to try and you get one ball. So you have an entire 5-day game and there are only in all only 20 wickets to be taken. So look at the ratio of success. That is how life is. Life doesn't give you success at every step, for example. You have to wait, you have to put in a lot of labor, a lot of effort without getting frustrated, without getting tired, completely patient. And still each and every delivery, bowling delivery from you has to be equally accurate. You can't afford to lose your concentration. Otherwise the batsman will take you for a 6. So you can't do that. So, you know, the number of deliveries and the number of bowls that you face, and it's every ball at every delivery, you need to show the same amount of momentum, same determination. And even if success eludes you, you cannot afford to lose now, right? So again, a test match is very interesting because if you cannot win, if it is a sure thing, I mean, you can see that now winning will not be possible. At least you can have a draw. Life itself is like this. Can you see the metaphor? Can you see the analogy here so beautiful? In our lives also, not always that we win. There are situations which we have a hands down win. Such situations are few and far between. Mostly it's a draw. You basically make a compromise. Draw is, my analogy for draw will be a compromise with your life. You need to compromise. You need to give some and get some. You need to find the middle path. So a test match is all about playing for a draw. If not for a win, at least a draw. At least you don't lose. Right? So that is a test match. I think life is also like a test match. Sometimes, of course, life would be like a one-day international, limited overs. You have a project, for example, or you have a degree to complete, or something which is very short term, limited overs game, like 50 over game ODI. And again, now there are no draws, not many draws in ODIs. ODIs generally give you some result. So you will get some result. Maybe you will lose, maybe you will win. In the short term, you will get to know what it is, and you should be able to. You need to be able to switch your roles according to the situation. ODI teaches you how to switch your roles and adapt quickly to the situation. Sometimes you are the anchor, you are the opening batsman of your team. You need to stay there and make as many runs as possible without wasting any balls. Sometimes you are the middle order. Sometimes the middle order comes very soon because the opening batsman has gone for a duck. And the middle order suddenly finds that he is now the anchor. He is the open play, and he is going to play the role of the opener. And he needs to be more consistent and pile up runs. Sometimes you are the finisher. Who is the best finisher of today? I mean, one of the best finishers in the world, Mr. Dhoni. Why is he appreciated so much? Because he can finish the game. He can take something to a logical conclusion. He doesn't lose his confidence or his patience or his concentration, his momentum, just when he's about to do it. How many of us are able to do it in our lives? By the time you are finishing your PhD, do you remember what happened? For those who have finished their PhD, you will remember this, that the finishing line is so difficult. When you are just about to get there, that is when the going is the toughest. Because your frustration, your tiredness is at the height. And you still need to finish. You just need to, overcome that last lap. And how you do it, how beautifully you do it without getting tired or getting frustrated. That is what the beauty. That is where the beauty lies. So good finisher in a cricket match. You need to be you may not be playing a cricket match, but you need to finish all your tasks like a good finisher in the team. The last lap, you should be finishing the last lap in the same manner how you started. Right? So from start to finish, if you're able to retain the momentum. Sometimes you chasing a very big score, 350 runs for the opposite. The opposition. And now you are going to say, okay, now 350. My God, when am I going to finish? And again, if you're chasing a total of 350 and you lose quick wickets, the early wickets have been lost, and somewhere you are the 6th and the 7th batsmen are in. And then what happens? How do you chase? The asking rate will be very high. At one point of time, it will look impossible. And still you will chase. Slowly but surely, you are bound to win. So how do you chase without getting afraid, without getting stressed out? Right? That is the test of your character. If you're a tail ender, a tail ender is usually a person who is a bowler. Bowlers come in at the tail end, and bowlers are not expected to bat very well. But even the tail enders sometimes they play very well. They play extremely well. They don't think that okay, we are tail enders and we are expected to do much. They're going to keep on doing as much as they can, even if they are coming at the last moment, in the last moments of the innings for the team. Do you know I'll give you a very interesting fact. The highest 10th wicket partnership in the world that has been scored. The score in this case, the 10th wicket partnership was 198 runs. It was made by J.E. Root and James Anderson of England. And together they piled up 198 runs in the 10th wicket. Can you believe it? This was in 2014. If you look at India, for example, in the Indian record for the highest 10th wicket partnership is held by Sachin Tendulkar and Zaheer Khan. Zaheer Khan is the bowler, tail-ender. And together they played for about 30 overs they kept playing. They kept going for 30 overs. Sachin Tendulkar, the opener, and Zaheer Khan, the tail-ender. Together they played for 30 overs. They piled up 133 runs for the 10th wicket partnership. And it was Sachin Tendulkar who got his highest score, 241 in this match. And that is his highest, his own individual record as well. So even if you're a tail-ender, don't worry. You still have a lot to do. Just you need to have the guts and the determination to do it. Sometimes you are the strike bowler. You need to make an early impact. You need to impress everybody. So that is your role. Sometimes you are a part-time bowler. You are required to spring up surprises for your team. Sometimes you are an all-rounder. In fact, all the time we should all aspire to be all-rounders. Is it not? Why should we, in our real lives, we should not try to specialize much. We should try to actually be an all-rounder, doing everything and doing everything well. Sometimes you are a fielder. So all those various roles in an ODI, but result-oriented, and see that the result comes in the short term. This is T20. T20 is not known for the cricketing skills. Primarily because it's a short-term format, very, very short. Before you understand the game is actually ending. But here also there are few things that you can learn and you can execute, and you can show your character by playing a T20 as well. It's a very short-term game, but then the response has to be quick. You may not be really worried about the technique. It can be a little less than perfect technique, but you need to display your agility and strength with the ball as well as the bat, as well as on the field. Again, T20 game is extremely high tension. You need to have the ability to withstand lot of stress, and you should be able to handle success. Success comes very easily because T20 games are short. So within a short period of time, you get lots of runs maybe, and that's how people remember that. You have more spectators who are attracted to this format. So success comes by rather quickly, especially in the IPL generation. Success is not very difficult for them. It comes very easily. You get crores of rupees and in the IPL circuit. Here the test lies in the ability to handle this success, right? So how do you approach your life as a test match or an ADI or T20? Actually, it is all of it. Sometimes we are in a test match situation. Sometimes you're in an ODI situation. Sometimes you're in a T20 situation. Any and every situation that life throws us in, we need to respond accordingly. We don't always get the game of our choice. Whatever life throws in for you, you need to respond, and accordingly, you need to show your character. You need to evolve side by side with the game. What is your situation in life at the moment? You can be a batter. Just think about your own situation in your life at the moment. Are you a batter somewhere? Are you a bowler attacking someone? Are you a fielder? Are you a 12th man in the team? You can be. Are you a substitute runner? Is that your role? Are you sitting on the bench and waiting for your chance to be included in the playing 11? Are you the captain? Or you are none of these? You are a spectator sitting in the stadium or sitting in front of the television set. What is your situation in life? Just think about it. How do you propose to respond to the various roles that you may be thrust in? If you are a batter, now mind you, the batsman is a very enviable position. You know, when the children, small children, when they are playing the gully cricket, you find them often fighting for batting. Everybody wants to be the batsman because that's how you get the maximum attention. That is the most glamorous positions. But is it really so? In your life, if you are in the batsman position, if you are in the commanding position, if you are in a role which expects you to perform, is it really an enviable position? It may be, it may not be. You know, you are forgetting that the batsman is the center of all attention, but he is in the midst of 11 opponents from the opposite team. All these are hostile faces, hostile gestures. You heard of sledging? Sledging is very common, hooting by the spectators. All this alone, not they must
Sonal madam, your voice is cracking. Still it is disturbance is there.
So how you are?
No, I guess it's pretty clear. Divyanka, it might be an issue at your end.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, this particular batsman, the apple of everybody's eye, everybody wants to be in his position, but his position is so precarious. And how he handles that position and you know goes with that. That is the strength of your character. That is what you are, chose what you are. You should not be intimidated. You should always be alert because one mistake and you will be out. The bowler gets many chances. You know, the bowler can bowl no ball and get away with it, and he'll get another chance to bowl. But the batsman has only one chance. One mistake and you're gone. So always on alert. Always wait for the loose ball. One loose ball and just put it out of the park for a sixer or a boundary. So never spare the loose ball. Tire out the bowler just by sticking to the wicket, by not being out. You know, you make the bowler frustrated and you try to make him angry. And the more angry he is, the more mistakes he would make. And the more mistakes he makes, you get the more chances to the sixer. Right? So that's how. So Virender Sehwag is famously, well known that whenever he is in a high pressure situation, particularly when we are playing Pakistan, the tempers are already running high. So Sehwag would come and then whenever he would see that people are trying to sledge him, he will start singing a song. You know, Hindi film song, Gana Shuru Kar Dega. And then the wicket keeper who was behind him from the opposition, he can say, Acha, Viru, tum ye wala gana gao, you know. So how he would lighten his mood and how he would, deal with the pressure and the sledging that people would, apparently throw at him. So how do you tire the bowler and not be tired yourself? How do you frustrate the bowler and make him angry and not become frustrated and angry yourself? That is the trick, you know. How do you duck the bouncer? If there is a down bouncer, you just duck it. You just protect yourself. You don't look at the bouncer in the eye, otherwise you will be hurt. Have you heard of the Borderline series? Douglas Jardine and Harold Larwood. And at the opposition, who was there? Don Bradman. And the Borderline series is very, very well known, or rather ill known in history for for the bouncers, how they would attack the body of the batsman, and rather than the wicket, and how Bradman really dealt with it and how he survived. Right. So you have to duck the bounce instead of fight. Some situations in life are thrown at you in such a way that you just have to duck it. You don't have to fight. You just need to realize that this is a bouncer and I need to duck. Every battle is not worth to be fighting for. Sometimes you have to just circumvent the situation and come out of it in a clever manner. So that's what we call ducking the bouncer. Avoiding the hit wicket. You should not be hit wicket. You should not give away your own wicket by your own silly mistake. So avoid all the hit wicket situations. Don't make a mistake. Don't, put yourself into that situation. Coordination with the non-striker. Even though you are the batsman, you are on the wicket, you need to coordinate with somebody who is not the striker, your partner at the other end. So this basically means in your own life, we have our team members. Sometimes we are performing, but we require the support of our team members. Without them, we are nothing. Without the non-striker, the batsman cannot make runs. If the non-striker is out, and if it is a 10th wicket and the non-striker is out, the non-striker is run out, you also lose the game. Even though you are not out, but still the game is over because the non-striker is out. So the non-striker is equally important in your scheme of things. How you coordinate both of you so that you are not run out. Right? How we treat our non-strikers, people who are supporting us in our work. That is what makes us successful or otherwise. Sometimes situations will be very difficult. Nothing will go according to plan. Things will be opposed to your scheme of things. Still, what you do, they tell you to stick to the wicket. Just be there. Situation is bad, very bad, worst. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. Just stick there. Don't even make runs. Even if there are no runs, there are maiden overs and maiden overs and maiden overs. Still, you keep sticking to the wicket. Just don't give your wicket away, and things will slowly change. The bowler will change. The bowler will be tired. Good bowlers will finish their quota. Things will change slowly in your advantage. Until that time, you just need to stick out there. Even if you know that, you can succeed. You can go nearer to your goal. Right? So all this, we've talked about the openers or the middle order batsmen and tailenders. We've not talked about the night watchman. Let me talk about it. Night watchman, you know what a night watchman is? Night watchman is basically a batsman who goes, in the end of the day when there is little bad light in the test match situation, when towards the evening the light is bad, the light will be fading. So at that point of time, they cannot afford to send a specialist batsman on the crease. So they send somebody who is not a specialist batsman, basically a bowler, somebody is just supposed to keep the wicket, preserve the wicket till the end of the day. So it's not a very enviable position, nothing that you should be proud of. But then Jason Gillespie from Australia, he made 201 runs against Bangladesh in the year 2006, and he was a night watchman. So see, even if you are a night watchman, you can come out with a double century. Don't be nervous when you are in the 90s. Nervous 90s they are called, because that is when you are going to buckle down to the pressure. Your own performance, your own expectation will get over you, and you will be out when actually you should have made a century. So Sachin Tendulkar holds the world record of getting out in the 90s. He was out 24 times when he was already past the score of 90. So we shouldn't be like Sachin Tendulkar in this aspect, of course. So what happens when you get out for a duck? Get out for zero? Nothing. You just forget it and move on. Cricket is what it teaches you how to move on. Get over the loss and move on. If you are a bowler in these particular times, especially in the IPL times, the wickets are all batter friendly. Everybody wants to have batsman friendly wickets because the spectators, the audience wants to watch sixers and boundaries and all that. Nobody wants to watch wickets being taken. So batter friendly wickets are the norms, and the batters have very, in fact, everything going against them. In fact, they were saying that the art of bowling is going to die a slow death. We might as well replace the bowlers with bowling machines because we are not doing anything for them. We are not making an equal competition. So bowlers are really the long sufferers. They face hooting by the spectators. Often they are hit for sixers and boundaries, and the audience cheers like mad. Sometimes they face a misfield. The fielders mess it up and they don't, effect the catch out. So these are your own teammates, your own people, your own team sometimes who does not live up to your expectations. What do? Do you start fighting with them? No. The next moment you forget it. Forget the misfield and go back to your lineup and start bowling all over again. Sometimes your appeals are rejected by the umpires. Even if it's a DRS, your appeal is rejected. Sometimes because of lack of coordination between the fielders. What do you do in that situation? You just move on. How you're able to handle that pressure? These situations are so common in our lives. So many times, in fact, more often than not in your own life, you will find that you are not the batsman, but you are the bowler. You keep on bowling over and over and over again and without any success. And how do you handle that? Long legs of unsuccessful hard work. How do you handle that? That is your character. That is what you need to learn from a bowler who plays a cricket match. Right? If you give too many runs away, if you sometimes end up with 0 wickets, okay, what do you do? How do you think the bowlers handle that pressure? How do they handle that pressure? And how in your life you can handle that long spell of unsuccessful hard work? That is what we need to ask ourselves. Sometimes you are the fielder. You are neither the bowler nor the batsman, but you are a fielder. Earlier in cricket, fielders were not really important. They were supposed to be sidetracked in a way. But it is the fielder themselves who have evolved this into a fine art. Today, we say that catches win matches. In fact, you can cover up your own batting debacles or your bowling underperformance with good fielding. Some players are in the playing 11 because they are good fielders. They may not be good at batting or bowling, but they become indispensable because they are good fielders. Fielders are not, nobody pays attention to them. The eyes of the people are on the batsman, for example. But then even if you are not the center of attention, you have to be always ready, always physically fit, always concentrate at every moment, and you need to have very good judgment with your motor skills have to be perfect, your eyes, your everything. Again, you don't mind doing the dirty work. You don't be afraid of looking funny on the field, losing your cap, falling, stooping, jumping, bending, running, slipping, sweeping across the ground. All this you do. Only thing is, I need to get the ball in my hands. So what about your own life? If you are a fielder, you need to catch a ball. What does the ball mean here? It means an opportunity. Are you prepared to do anything and everything to get hold of that opportunity? How are you going to respond if you are fielding? Don't worry about soiling your clothes. Don't worry about doing any kind of dirty work, hard work, rough work. Just get the ball. Just get hold of that opportunity. how you coordinate with your fellow fielders, your teammates. And if at all there is a misfield, sometimes there is a misfield, you might miss a catch, what to do? Don't worry, just carry on. Next ball is another day. Tomorrow is another day. The next ball is another day, right? So fielders also have a lot to teach you before you want to, if you care to learn from them. Sometimes you are the 12th man, the water man in the match. Not everybody is part of the playing 11 always, but the 12th man, the substitute runners, those who are sitting in the bench, are they going to be continuously fuming and fretting and sulking and being unhappy about themselves? No, that doesn't get you anywhere. In fact, if you are a 12th man somewhere in some situations and nobody is giving you any important responsibility to do, what do? Take it as a blessing in disguise. It's a stress-free situation. You have no pressure to perform. Good, no? Good for you. What you should do? Continue honing your skills. Sooner or later, you will be in the playing 11. So start being ready for that day. Remain mentally and physically fit. Observe the field, observe the game, observe the opponents, observe the ground, right? Be active on the nets. In the nets, you can practice. Nobody's going to stop you. So you can always, offer to help. You can say that, okay, instead of the bowling machine, I'll keep on bowling you. Why do you want to have bowling machine? I am going to volunteer. As many as you want, I will bowl those balls to you. Always be ready for a call-up. Tomorrow something might happen. Somebody might get injured and you would be replacement. So always be ready to grab that one chance. Chances don't come easily and they may come when you are least ready. So don't be caught in that situation. Whenever you have an opportunity in your life, jump at it. Because however much we laugh at the substitutes and the 12th men and those sitting on the bench, actually speaking, all of us, more often than not, are in the situation of those sitting in the bench. We are sitting on the bench, waiting for that opportunity. Are we not? More times, we are basically on the bench only. And it is for us to get up from the bench and go out there and perform as and when you're called and then succeed at that. Okay, as substitute or the bench sitters, you need to also celebrate your team's win. It's not that you should not be detached so much. Okay, I'm not playing in the playing 11, so what do I care? That shouldn't be your attitude. You should still be part of a team. You should celebrate its wins, its successes of your teammates, and perform at the first available chance. Again, don't worry too much about being the replacements, those sitting on the bench. Smile, be cheerful. Even if you are the 12th man going out on the field with the replacement of a helmet or going out with a bottle of water, go out there, go out with a smile. As it is, you have to go, so why not smile as well? So yeah, so you need to have that attitude. What happens to you if you are a captain? Sometimes you get this opportunity of captaining your team in whichever position you are, in your office, in your school, in your college, in your family. You become the captain. You are the leader. What should you be doing? You need to lead from the front. What does it mean? Lead with a lot of panache, lot of strength, lot of energy. You need to back up your players. There are people in the team who, some of them are very good performers, some of them may not be very good performers. They may be really going through hard times. Those who are really good, they don't need your help much. But those who are not doing very well at that point of time, they are the ones who need you. So you need to back them up. You need to take the responsibility for the team's failure, even though it may not be, you may have personally done very well and the team has somehow not won. We have not been able to achieve something that we have set out to achieve. You take the responsibility, don't throw it on others. That is a sign of a great captain. Don't hog the limelight. Try to share it. One of my most enduring memories from the cricket field is the image of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. when there is a team, a team picture being taken with some trophy that they have won, and you look at that picture and you try to find out in that picture, where is Mr. Dhoni? Somewhere in the corner he will be standing. He will never be at the center. At the center with the big trophy, you have all those youngsters who are sitting there. Most probably those who are the bench sitters, they will be the ones with the trophy, and Mr. Dhoni will hide himself, so to speak, in some corner. He will never try to hog the limelight. Even though everybody knows that he is the man behind the victory, he wouldn't try to show it himself. And that is the mark of a great captain. Not hogging the limelight, but then taking the responsibility whenever there is failure. Also, a good captain is one who gives credit where it is due. Because a captain is as good as the team that he leads. Never underestimate your team. You are the captain because of your team. If it is a team which is making or unmaking you. So always realize that. And that is the mark of a good leader. That's what we need to imbibe from the great captains of the cricketing field, be it Mr. Dhoni or Mr. Ganguly, or there are so many other captains, for example, Imran Khan from Pakistan, or you have Mike Brearley from England. They are known for their cricketing. They may not be great players, but they are great captains, and that is again for a reason. If you are a spectator, like most of us are, what do? You need to realize that you are investing your emotions in something which is totally out of your control. So stop giving importance to non-issues. Have you heard about the concept of Sakshi Bhav from the Bhagavad Gita? You need to be a Sakshi. Spectator is what? Somebody who is just seeing, who's not really involved, who's not really the decision maker. In fact, life is like this. Most of the times, you are not in control of anything. You are just able to see it. So, you need to develop that objectivity of a Sakshi, of a viewer, without getting too involved, too emotionally drained in the process. Stop giving importance to non-issues. Stop indulging in personal attacks, for example. Take away the right things from the game. And what are those right things? The spirit of the game, the spirit of sportsmanship. Right? A game is a game after all. You need to detach yourself. You don't need to get involved so much that it affects your personal lives. There are people who get a heart attack when India, their team loses. Don't be that kind of person. In your life as well as your work also. Even if you're working very, very ardently on a project, you want it to happen this way, but it doesn't. Then what do? Then you again shift your role to that of a spectator. Just see it objectively and just let it pass away without affecting yourself too much. And most importantly, you need to, if you are a cricket fan, you need to shift to playing the game yourself rather than being a couch cricketer. Because couch cricketers are the most dangerous. They sit on the couch and keep giving you advice after advice, and they really don't, implement it yourself. Those advisors are very dangerous. Don't be one of those advisors. Cricketing mantras for your life. These, small jewels of wisdom that all of us know. There's nothing new in all this, but we need to remember it often in our own lives also. Nothing is in your control. In the cricket field, nothing like the toss, the wind, the rain, the cold, who the bowler is, how are the fielders, what is the fielding setup, how is the wicket behaving, who is the umpire, who are the selectors, who are the spectators, what is the media going to write or report, or what are your own teammates up to. None of this is in our control. Similarly, in life as well. Is anything actually in our control? Nothing much. Everything else except your own self is beyond your control. So realize that and behave accordingly. Even if nothing is in your control, you try to do your best in whatever way it is possible. Focus on your own performance. You see, in the cricket match, you often see this one brilliant performance by a player, anybody, a bowler or a batsman or even a fielder. And he will turn the match around. A team debacle can be overturned by a brilliant performance by a single player. You need to be that player. If your team is not doing well, if you are in your college or in your office, in your family, things are really bad, everybody is not doing well, nobody is with you, but still you are there. And you need to effect that turnaround. You need that person who will make your team win in spite of everything else and in spite of everybody else. So that is your mantra, which you need to take from the cricketing field back to your own self. Let your bat or the ball do the talk. This is a very good advice given to anybody who is very sensitive. People will talk, and you don't need to talk back. There are because हम कहते हैं लोग कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. You don't need to answer everybody. You don't need to, in fact, even listen to the criticism much. You just self-analyze and reply them with your own performance. You make it impossible for them to ignore you. You make yourself noticeable not by your antics, but your performance. The more you sledge me, the more I will score. Remember the Monkey Gate scandal between Andrew Simmons and Harbhajan Singh in Australia? Do you remember that? Sledging is a way to disturb a batsman in the midst of the wicket. You sledge him. And a good batsman is one, a good player is one who will say, the more you sledge me, the more I'll score. So don't worry, go ahead and say whatever you want to say, I don't care. Sledge me at your own risk. That is the attitude we need to have in our own life. Because people keep on talking all the time. Not everybody is always friendly or kind in their comments. You don't need to worry. You need to go ahead and do whatever you think is right. You must believe that you can win. The win or the loss it originates in your mind. Much in cricket and also in your own life. When you think you can win, that is when you win. Man ke haare haar hai, man ke jeete jeet. Right? So that is what you need to take back from the cricket field. Keep the scoreboard ticking. What does this mean? Even if the wicket is hard, the conditions are bad, the bowler is very strong, you are very inexperienced, whatever the situation, you need to just stick there on the wicket and keep on scoring 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs. That is what you call keep the scoreboard ticking. So slowly, your score will start amassing and slowly you advance. Baby steps. 1 run, 2 run mein aap aage chale jate. And slowly the bowler will start then frustrated, will be frustrated, he'll become tired, or he will finish his quota and you will be out of the situation. So in a difficult situation, just keep on doing what you're doing. That is what it means to keep the scoreboard ticking. Do your normal activities, some routine activities, and pass the time in such a way that that difficult phase will be over and then you are out of the shadow. It's not over till it is over. Do you remember the last ball, the last delivery by Joginder Sharma and caught by Sreesanth? You remember the finals of the 2007 T20 World Cup which India won? It was the last ball and Ismaul Haq was on the crease and the bowler was Joginder Sharma and he bowled and the batsman pulled it and it went straight to Sreesanth and that was a catch out. So the last ball, till the last ball, you need to keep on trying. It's not over till it is over. You have to keep on trying and trying and trying. In life, it is most important not to give up. Nothing is over till it is over. If that is what you believe, you will keep on trying. You will keep your momentum and sooner or later you are bound to succeed. It has to complete. But of course, sometimes you lose. So it's okay. You win some, you lose some. That is the best part of it. You don't have to be overly conscious about a single loss. Losses are okay. Sometimes they do happen. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow will be another match. Right? So get over the loss quickly as possible. Get over the win also quickly. as much as the loss has to be gotten over, even the win has to be gotten over. You keep on basking in the glory of the win, and you keep on looking at your past glory and past performances. That doesn't happen. That doesn't help you in the long run. In the long run, what you need to do is you need to get over the win. Also, keep your head on the shoulders and continue. You cannot keep on dwelling on the past. When you are dropped from the teams, and sometimes you will be, sometimes in our lives, we don't get chances. We don't get the opportunity that we deserve. Everyone thinks that you are no good. Your story is over. That is when you make the comeback. I think one of the biggest comebacks in cricketing history, to my mind, I think I will give it to Yuvraj Singh. He had come back after having defeated cancer. And everybody thought that now he has cancer and now he is gone for good. That is the time when he conquered the disease and he came back. And he again played very well after that phase also. So that comeback story is the most inspiring one. And in our lives, we have so many of such instances. People are written off. Firms are closed. People lose their jobs. Their businesses are closed. They incur losses. They incur the loss of a loved one. And from that situation, that emotional upheaval, that financial, physical loss of confidence, that from that situation they come back and they again dominate the scene. So that is what life teaches you. That is what life is all about. Going and coming back over and over again. Just not giving up. That's what it means. Remember that form is temporary, class is permanent. Very cliche statement from cricket, but we need to believe in it. We don't bother about our temporary form. Form is temporary. The performance in the short term is temporary. Maybe it is not good, but don't worry about it. What matters is your class. What is the class of your character? What kind of a player you are? What kind of a human being are you? That will be ultimately the determining factor in the long run. So these are some of the jewels from the cricketing arena that we might as well have in our own lives as well. Life is a game. Enjoy and celebrate as much as you can, whenever you can. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for the wonderful session. The floor is open. Anyone wanted to interact or share your feedback or anything, please.
Yeah.
Yes, Neela sir, please.
Sonal, you had a wonderful presentation, and it seems you say I'm a non-cricketer, but the way you have elaborated on these things, on the game, it seems you're following the game quite well, quite closely, and someone in your family or in your circle is a cricketer.
No, that's not really true. What I said is absolutely true. I'm just a non-cricketer, an avid cricket watcher, of course.
And everything you have elaborated so nice, the process of the game, what is undergoing in the player's mind. Then you have also elaborated the history of the game so well. It's really wonderful because people may not be knowing, they only know this T20 game nowadays. They may not be aware of the history of the game. And one thing that I would like to emphasize, that life is like a test match. And our authorities at ICC and BCCI, by giving so much importance to T20, they are making the psyche of the people, those who are playing, that is something different, but the psyche of the people has changed for instant gratification. They don't want to go through the grind of the game now. And the same thing happens in the general public. They want instant gratification. They want instant money. And all these things, actually, T20 cricket and IPL has affected our psyche. It's otherwise, the game is such a wonderful game. Neville Cardias, any eminent writer on cricket, has said that even if the Constitution of England is lost, the same can be rebuilt on the Constitution of the game of cricket. Such was his observation. And thank you, Sonal Ben. really nice to hear to you today. And thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Ujjwal sir.
Yeah, I want to make a few comments. Actually, I was attracted to the title, but more importantly, I made it a point to attend this lecture because a woman was going to talk about cricket, which is a rare thing. And obviously, the way you presented and your fluency with the technical terms was good. It is very evident that you are following cricket. Now, you told about cricket being religion in our country. The biggest problem, so far as the domestic conflicts are concerned, is because women, if cricket is religion in this country, then women by and large are anti-religious. So one of the most common causes of domestic conflicts is cricket. So I'm so happy that it won't be the case in your house. So congratulations, and it was really a nice way to present little things in life. One important thing which we see with cricket always is like any sports, it teaches us how to lose, and this is a very important thing. But more importantly, with cricket, it happens that sometimes you do good and your team loses. How to take it? And sometimes you have no contribution absolutely and your team has won. Then how to celebrate and dance at the team's success when you personally have failed? These are some of the important teachings from the game. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Sonal Ben, it was one of the best presentation in ISTD Friday Forum so far. Because all the time I perceived Sonal Ben as economist talking on water conservation and human development and all, but the way you picked up this particular topic, it was really a 360-degree change. Now, if I see this particular presentation in the training domain, then it was quite a very remarkable presentation. Yeah, like we academicians who are a hardcore academician, they are also now learn how to put the content in a more interesting way. We know the millennials, right? Like they don't listen the very tough and rigorous concepts of economics and commerce and all, right? So this kind of analogy and metaphoric presentation always helps. Like I was also telling you, this particular book is by the Harsa Boglekar. It is a second version of the book. It's a wonderful book, Winning the Way, in which Harsa Boglekar and his wife, used to have such kind of workshop, learning from various sports, particularly the cricket. And this was the second version of this particular book, and wonderful lesson he also shared on the basis of kind of training workshop, full day and 3 days and 4 days workshop. He and his wife used to arrange since 90s, like not in this era, but since 90s they used to arrange such a workshop for big corporates, like almost all kind of top 20 companies of the country. So definitely for academician, there is a huge market for such kind of content, right, in times to come. That's really a role of ISTD also, that how we can try something new. So as Ujjwal Bhai was also saying that you proved us wrong about our a lot of myth about the ladies as well as the academicians. So thank you for giving that change. And keep selecting such topic. We expect Ujjwal Bhai also to talk something 360-degree away from his domain. So that is really nice. Yeah. So thank you for such a delightful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, before we close, let me take this opportunity. Sonal Win, awesome, awestruck, absolutely, with the presentation. Although we always have the benefit of interacting on tea, and it's always this power packed. But I bet you, in the entire last 1 hour plus, not a single 60-second would have been such where it was you could have afforded to not listen to what you have to say. Absolutely awestruck, madam. It was so wonderful, and the way you have drawn down such amazing stuff from cricket. Personally, how I could relate with it was like, I try to read so much on body language. Personally, I've only been a big fan of Zahir Khan and his eyes when he would bowl. So that something that really always struck me. But he had such a short spell in the cricket. So I stopped watching cricket once Zahir Khan left the game. But besides that, I am so awestruck, madam, your presentation. So proud of you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonal madam. And as everybody said, from the topic perspective, it has been like as an academician, right? It has been given a reverse kind of a topic to the faculty who are teaching single subject since years, right? But you had come out with a exceptional kind of a prepared and a content of presentation with a various examples and using the right word, technical words of cricket and what goes on in the mind and relating with the life lessons. It was wonderful to hear you. And as sir said, we are looking for various type of topics like this one from other participants as well. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us today for the ISTD Friday Forum. See you next week with the different topic and different speaker. Thank you very much all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you.